organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming your way on this live morning edition of Daily Iowan TV, a talented group is bringing in a little extra flair to a classic tale. And grab your helmets because there are some cyclists coming to town.
And coming up in sports, we take a look at what happened to Iowa's offense on Saturday.
And we've got stories on two impressive Iowa athletes.
More from Kinnick to the Old Capitol, you're watching Daily Iowan TV. Good morning, I'm Andrew Roberts, and thank you for joining us for our live Tuesday program. New information surfaced this morning regarding the bombing suspect in the attacks this weekend. The wife of Ahmad Khan Rahami, the suspect in the New York and New Jersey bombings, reportedly left the United States days before the attacks. Officials are unclear as to what she knew and the level of her involvement. Police have confirmed it was an act of terror, injuring 29 New Yorkers, but causing no deaths. The explosions occurred in the Chelsea neighborhood, and the device was similar to the one used in the Boston Marathon bombing in 2013. An event going on this weekend that may bring in a few extra cyclists, the Cyclocross World Cup, is taking place, and Daily Iowan TV reporter Noah Gowdy has a story on this sport that is booming in our community and all around the world.
This year is the 14th annual Jingle Cross Festival in Iowa City, and this event is going to be bigger than ever. Iowa City was selected to be one of the 9 locations for the UCI World Cup of Cyclocross to be held at. It is one of the 2 World Cups that are held here in the United States, with Cross Vegas being the other event.
This was a long time in coming. We've been having the Jingle Cross for 13 years. It's basically a Christmas-based race. We always had it in November or December, and we've had it here at the Johnson County Fairgrounds for the last 11 of those 13 years. And we built it from a very tiny race when it first started with just 60 guys to this enormous event where now it's the largest cyclocross race in the United States, in North America actually.
The event consists of around 2,500 racers with more than 50 amateur races throughout the 3 days, and the World Cup races will take place on Saturday. The event coordinators are expecting 15,000 fans to be in attendance for the event and upwards to 10 million watching from home.
For a lot of us, we've been racing since March or even before that. The cyclocross schedule is typically from late August all the way to United States. The national championship is in January. The world events go all the way until late February.
Throughout the Jingle Cross event, riders have to ride up and down hills, such as the one behind me. It won't be an easy task for them as they have to go over obstacles, and if they can't ride up the hill, they have to carry their bike all the way up.
The riders fly through the course at high speeds and put it all on the line for this race. Jingle Cross has been such a huge success in the past and continues to grow larger each and every year. The event is open to the public, and tickets can be purchased throughout the community at local bike shops and Midwest One locations. Reporting from the Johnson County Fairgrounds, Noah Gowdy, Daily Iowan TV.
Creative Matters lecture series is introducing a creative way to see Shakespeare through hip-hop. Later today, UI professor Miriam Gilbert, a renowned Shakespeare scholar, and the musicians the Q Brothers will be holding a lecture at the Maybe Theater. Organizers of the lecture are hoping that this conversation will open people's minds to the timelessness of Shakespeare. The lecture will begin at 5:30 tonight and is free to the public. Coming up later this month, the Q Brothers will be performing their version of Shakespeare's Julius Caesar titled Rome, Sweet Rome. Performances will take place at the David Thayer Theater and will run from September 29th to October 15th. Well, we certainly had a bit of a scare with the tornado warning that was in effect until 10 p.m. last night. The weather seems to be holding up well, but we're going to take it into the weather studio with Ryan Scott to give us more. Ryan, how's it been out there?
Well, this morning, Andrew, it was a very cool day. As a fan of cooler weather, it was perfect for me.
I like the cooler weather myself.
Well, unfortunately, that won't stick around as temperatures this afternoon will kick up into the 80s. Things will cool down a little bit tonight, but nothing drastic as we'll experience an evening temperature of 75 degrees. And tomorrow morning, we'll kick things off with a temperature of 74 degrees. Now let's take a look at our 6-day forecast. As you can see, it's going to feel like summer this week with highs above 80. Today we'll be seeing clear skies and a high of 85 degrees. Wednesday, our afternoon high will jump up into the 90s at 91 degrees, and we may see a little cloud cover throughout the day. Thursday, temperatures will drop, but again, nothing drastic. We'll see a high of 84 degrees. Thursday and Friday are both looking a little on the cloudy side. Friday, we'll see a high of 86 degrees. Saturday, skies will clear back up and it'll be another high of 86. And Sunday will be our coolest day of the week with a temperature of 81 degrees and partly cloudy skies. That's all I've got here in the weather studio. Andrew, back to you.
The University of Iowa Hospitals and Clinics is one of this year's recipients of the Computer World Data Plus Editor's Choice Award. The award was based on their development of a program which has the ability to predict and prevent what patients are at risk for during surgery. John Cromwell, the Director of Surgical Quality and Safety at UIHC, says, quote, "One of the greatest things about this system is that as time goes on and patients change, the machine is able to adapt and recalibrate to learn these changes," end quote. Since implementing the logarithm 3 years ago, surgical site infections at the UI hospitals and clinics have decreased by 74%. The UI is continuing to make strides in sustainability. In 2010, officials at the university established 7 goals to achieve by 2020. Over the past 6 years, the UI Sustainability Charter Committee has brought groups throughout the university together to further these goals. Since 2010, the athletics department and housing and dining have aimed to increase their involvement in campus-wide effort. Tony Cineo, sports turf manager for UI Athletics, spoke highly of sustainability efforts, saying, quote, "Sustainability can be a weird thing for people. It almost comes off as a negative word, but it's about perspective. I feel like it's more about doing the right thing. It's about simplicity," end quote. Well, you may want to Eggo your Lego now that Kellogg Company has voluntarily recalled over 10,000 boxes of Kellogg's Eggo and Nutri-Grain whole wheat waffles in 25 states, including Iowa, for Listeria monocytogenes. This bacteria can cause serious and sometimes fatal infections for young children, elderly people, and those with weak immune systems. So far, there have been no incidents reported, but Kellogg's is being proactive to protect the safety and health concerns of their customers. Well, it's certainly good that Eggo's doing a recall, and Iowa football wishes they could replay the game on Saturday. Guys are over in the sports studio, John Leo and Mary Kate Harry. And guys, what is going on with this Iowa team, and how do they plan to rebound after a tough loss this past week?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. It definitely was a rough game for the Hawkeyes on Saturday.
Yeah, it was a tough performance, but hopefully they can bounce back on Saturday at Rutgers. Well, today we start with the football game this past weekend, and as we already know, Iowa did not play their best on Saturday.
That's right, John. The Hawkeyes didn't have a dominant run game like they had on week 1 and week 2. The team rushed for a total of 212 yards against Miami of Ohio and then for 198 yards against Iowa State. But Saturday, it was just a non-existent as the team only had 34 rushing yards. Taylor Brooks might have the answer to what went wrong.
It was the first time quarterback C.J. Beathard had lost inside Koenig Stadium as the starting QB. And Beathard knew something was off on Saturday.
It was kind of the way the day went. It just didn't feel normal. But, I mean, either way, we should do better.
Some little things offensively that we didn't do, protecting the football, making the catches that you got to make, those just executing basic football. And, yeah, when you don't do that, you're gonna pay for it.
The run game was not the only thing missing from Iowa's offense. Center James Daniels and right guard Sean Welsh were sidelined, leaving a miscommunication void as Lucas LeGrand and Keegan Render were the next men in.
Kind of us just being off today a little bit, just being a little late on some reads and not knowing who to block on some plays.
We watched, we knew like what was going to be coming and stuff like that, but we didn't, handle it as well as we should have.
There could have been a momentum shift the first play of the third quarter when the Sean Daniels Jr. went 70 yards. Then an illegal block by George Kittle brought the ball back, and Iowa just didn't have any answers after that.
I'll go back to the mistakes. We came out in the second half, hit a big run on him and got that called back. And it's kind of like baseball. When you walk a guy in the ninth inning, invariably comes back and gets you. And those little things there make a big difference in momentum, just how your team plays. And, now you're sitting there 1st and 20 instead of, 1st and goal down inside the 5.
It's like a 70-yard run that got called back, so that kind of hurts. And then we stalled right from there. So that's a big momentum for them, and they took advantage of it.
Kittle owns up to his mistake, but his offensive production had him at 110 receiving yards, a career high.
I didn't get the chance to ask the ref, but I think my arm might have got hooked on him. And if that's what the ref sees, he's going to throw the flag. I like being involved with the offense, whether it's running, ground game or in the air. So, every position's important, but since I'm a tight end, I like that.
With Big Ten play just 5 days away, there's no room for Iowa's offense to break down like it did Saturday.
Reporting with the Hawkeyes at Kinnick Stadium, this has been Taylor Brooks for Daily Iowan TV Sports.
They have some things to clean up, that's for sure, but James Daniels and Sean Welsh are back on the depth chart and expected to start on Saturday against Rutgers. Taylor Brooks will have more on Wednesday on how the team is bouncing back after the loss.
Moving on from football, the Iowa women's volleyball team is off to a great start this season with a 10-2 record, and one of the senior hitters is contributing in a team-leading fashion. Colin Murphy tells us who that is.
In her junior campaign, Lauren Brobst led the team in kills with 369 and a 3.21 kill per set average. Early on in this season, this senior is still playing at a high level. 12 matches into the season, she's on pace to meet the bar she set last year. Probst currently leads the team with 118 kills and a 3.58 kill per set average. It is clear that this hitter is a force for this Hawkeyes offense.
I always thought to myself, I don't have anything to lose in this league, and last year it kind of just carried over, and this year it's the same thing, basically.
Probst will continue to be a big contributor for our program this season, I'm sure of that, but we need her really dialed in every night to do just that.
Probst said she attributes her on-the-court success to midweek preparation and scouting of the other teams.
Preparation during the week is usually, we'll watch film, we'll scout the other teams, obviously, and then we'll go in to practice play and put it into play.
The Hawkeyes start Big Ten play on September 23rd against Michigan State. Probst will certainly need to continue her stellar season if the Hawks hope to compete in such a tough conference. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena, this has been Colin Murphy, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Iowa volleyball team will travel this weekend to start Big Ten play at Michigan State Friday at 6:30 and at Michigan Saturday at 6.
This summer, one Hawkeye had the chance to represent his country at the Davis Cup, the World Cup of tennis. Kareem Alaf won 5 singles rubbers for Syria, and he hopes his experience can be beneficial for the Hawkeyes back in Iowa City. Will Silverstein has more.
Over this past summer, redshirt freshman Kareem Alaf had the opportunity of a lifetime. Alaf was nominated by the Syrian Arab Tennis Federation to represent Syria in the Davis Cup, the World Cup of tennis.
Pretty magical experience. You get to play for your country, like the whole country's on your back supporting you, You get messages on social media telling you do well, we're with you. I mean, just being out there playing, competing is just, something incredible.
Alaf was the #1 singles player for Syria and won his matches against ranked players from Cambodia, Qatar, and Singapore. But Alaf was not done yet as he continued his strong performance into his college summer tournaments.
Ineligible last year, so I didn't get to play as much, but I came here after a Davis Cup and I played 2 ITA college tournaments, one over here and one in Indiana to get a place in All-Americans. I made the finals here and lost in the semifinals in Indiana. I was just 1 match away from playing the All-Americans. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing the fall tournaments and hopefully the season.
For Alaf, playing the Davis Cup and playing collegiate tennis are 2 different experiences entirely.
College tennis is completely different. You're playing for a team. You got your teammates to think about, and they're all supporting you. Everyone wants you to do well, and it's something different.
In his incredible summer performance, Alaf made clear that his country has a dear place in his heart.
To see the country how it is now is heartbreaking, and every time I put the country behind my back, I wear Syria behind. I always go out there, fight, make country proud.
Reporting from the HTRC, this has been Will Silverstein, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
Alaf and the team will compete at 2 tournaments this upcoming weekend, the Battle of the Bay in San Francisco and the Western Michigan Invite in Kalamazoo. Stay tuned next week for updates on the team's outcome.
Make sure to watch us live tomorrow. We'll have football and volleyball updates and a look at the game day vendors around Kinnick.
Andrew, back to you.
See you tomorrow. Have a great day.